Hi guys, welcome to GoodGirlGoneFab, and I'm so excited because I'm reviewing Fenty Beauty. So I was so excited because, as you know, well, you may not know, as many people know, I'm a huge Rihanna fan. GoodGirlGoneFab is the name of my beauty blog, and the name was inspired by a Rihanna album, Good Girl Gone Bad. So I feel like I'm Good Girl Gone Fab, and that's why I call myself that, and that's the name of my blog. But nevertheless, as much as I love Rihanna, I love makeup even more. So I was really excited when she decided to launch her Fenty Beauty collection at Sephora. And I purchased all of my products in store, and I'm going to be giving you guys a tutorial on how I get my Fenty Face. And I'm going to review all of the products individually and let you guys know what you should and shouldn't buy based on what I purchased. I can't give a full Fenty Beauty review, unfortunately, because I didn't purchase everything. But on everything that I got, I'm giving you insight on what I think of the products. So if you want to see how I got my Fenty Face, watch, and right after the tutorial is a full review on everything I purchased. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm just going to jump right into it. I have nothing on my skin besides moisturizer and a little bit of spray. I did my brows and my lashes a little bit just because I'm not going to really focus on the eyes in this video. So starting off with our Fenty Beauty products, we're going to start with the primer. It is a primer that comes with a pump, and it is kind of like a white color. But when you apply it to the skin, it goes on clear. So this isn't an initial review because I've used these products before over the weekend when I got them. And I will say I love this primer. But the full review is going to come at the end. Right now I'm just going to show you guys how I use the Fenty Beauty products. Oily skin, so I make sure to focus in my T-zone area, which is the area that makes a T. Okay, so that's the primer going on the skin. Super soft. Super easy. The next thing I got from the Fenty Beauty collection was the Fenty Beauty Precision Makeup Sponge. It comes in like a nude color, and I've used it before, and I have mine damp right now. You can use it damp or dry. It's based on preference. Usually dry gives you a more full coverage, but I'm able to achieve full coverage using this damp. And then I'm taking my Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Longwear foundation in the color 430. And I'm just going to apply it to the back of my hand. This is one pump. So the foundation is a bit watery. As you can see, it does drip down. It reminds me of the NYX Total Drop Concealer in terms of the formula, but it's not as watery. So I don't mind the liquidy form. If you like thick foundations, this is not one. But I think it being watery does help with the flawlessness that it gives for the skin. So I'm taking this sponge from the Fenty Beauty collection, and I'm going to start applying it to my skin. And since I already have on like a little bit of eye makeup, I'm not going to put that on my eye area. And when you're blending, of course, make sure you're getting on your neck. So when you're using this foundation, I would suggest kind of work fast. It dries on the skin pretty, well, soft matte. But if you're using a sponge, it allows you to kind of go fast anyway. So if you see me shine, it's probably because of the sponge is wet, but and I'm looking at my camera, so in my mirror. The products that I got in terms of my face, I didn't get the match sticks and I didn't get the contour sticks. I don't usually cream contour, and I was on a budget, so I just opted for the foundation and the primers for right now. As you can see, that is the finish. And so far, I love this foundation. I'll give it more in-depth review as soon as the tutorial is over. But for now, since I don't have the Fenty Beauty concealers, I'm going to kind of skip past that part and do the rest of my makeup. So I got the Kilowatt highlighters in the color Moscow Mule and Ginger Binge. This color is Moscow Mule, and this color is Ginger Binge. So Moscow Mule is the more highlighty color, while I think Ginger Binge is good for a blush color. I didn't get the, what is it called? Trophy Wife highlighter because I thought it was a little bit yellowy, and I will say that I think that Trophy Wife is the most pigmented highlighter in the collection for Fenty Beauty. But since I wanted to stay with things that I typically wear, I decided not to get it. So I'm just going to take my Morphe fan brush. This is a 601 fan brush, and swipe it into the highlighter. There's a little bit of fallout, but it's nothing crazy. And I'm just going to highlight my cheekbones like I always do. So this is a nice rose gold subtly highlight color. I think it looks great on deep skin tones, which is why I got it. Nose, a little bit up there. And that's pretty much how I highlight. You can see that glow. And then I'm taking my other highlight brush from MAC, and I'm going to take the color Ginger Binge and kind of just apply it to the rosiness of my cheeks. Then I always do this with every highlighter powder that I use. Just go back in with my sponge. I don't know. It kind of like tones it down for me because sometimes I get a little paranoid walking around with just super bright highlight. The next thing that I got is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. It's in the color Fenty Glow. This is the only lip gloss in the collection so far, and I will just say I love this so much. It's pretty much like a clear gloss. Now, what I've been doing is defining my lips with my MAC Chestnut lip liner. Alright, so my lips are defined. And there you go. I really think as soon as you put this on, the whole face just comes together. Like, highlight, skin is popping, it's all set, it's matte, but it looks so beautiful, and it looks just like skin. And then with the lips, it's like your lips, but like a natural popping shine. It kind of gives you like that lip plumping look without the extraness. So then I just set my face with my NYX spray. I'm gonna let that sit. And then this is the finished Fenty Face. For making it to this part of the video, I know as much as you guys want to see how they look on my skin, you also want to know what I feel about them. So I'm going to go step by step of what I did for my face. The first thing I used was the Fenty Beauty primer, and I will just give it a 10 out of 10. I love this primer so much. It's mattifying, but it's not drying. It makes your skin feel smooth. It makes your skin feel soft. I believe this primer is $32. I'll link all the products that I use below, and it has a really nice scent to it as well. So if I had to say would I buy this, if I were you guys, definitely purchase this. If you're looking for a new primer, typically I use my Becca Ever Matte primer, but I think this is probably going to be my go-to primer just because the Becca primer is a little sticky and gives you a film. This has no film, it's no color. It applies like a lotion or like a moisturizer. It gives your skin like a radiant glow, but still applies the foundation matte. So definitely, I love this primer so much. It makes my foundation last long, and it's just really good. I don't know really what else to say about it. I didn't set this primer with any powder, and like my face still lasts all day when I use it, and it's like magical. So, and I didn't really expect the primer to be as good. Like, I knew I was gonna like the foundation. Well, I had a hunch, but the primer is the thing that shocked me the most because I really truly was like, okay, Rihanna, okay, Rihanna. Like, I was like, that's really cool. So definitely get the primer along with getting the foundation. I literally love this foundation so much. I think it looks really good on my skin. I was a little bit afraid about the color match, but once you blend it in and it sets on your skin, it looks beautiful. Like, my face looks like my face, and it doesn't look cakey. I don't feel like I have any makeup on. I only need about 1 to 2 pumps to apply to get a flawless Fenty face like this. And I think totally is like shocking everyone with how good the coverage is for this foundation. Like, we knew the shade range was going to be great. 40 shades is something for pretty much everyone. But the fact that this foundation is actually also high quality is what's amazing. Of course, it's going to be, you know, a high-end brand because it's at Sephora, but like, it works really well. What I would say is if you're getting the foundation, do not buy it online. I've seen a lot of people buying it online, and when they get it in the store, when they get it in the mail, it doesn't match, or they don't like the shade color match. So they've been having to like go back to Sephora and repurchase it, and it's just so much less hassle if you have a Sephora not too far away from you to go in store, get color matched, let it sit on the skin for about 5 minutes, walk around. My camera really doesn't want me to record this for you guys, but we're gonna get through this. So, like I was saying, walk around the store, talk so your face can move and feel the foundation, and just like live a few minutes with it, and it's gonna feel so nice on your skin. I feel naked, besides the fact that I have on gloss and lashes, but my face feels flat, but it looks beautiful. So definitely get the foundation. It lasts all day. It doesn't crease. It's not cakey. It's buildable. It's matte. So if you're oily, definitely it's gonna work out really well, especially with the primer and setting it with any setting powder that you use. They're all gonna come together really well. If you're dry, I still think that this foundation is good as long as you moisturize your skin and you take the necessary skincare precautions. So it's a soft matte finish, so it looks matte, but it doesn't feel harsh on the skin. So that's why I think it works well for both skin types, in my opinion. I don't have dry skin, but I do have some dry spots on my skin, and like I said, it feels free and natural. So I think anybody could get away with this foundation, and I think that's the best part of the Fenty Beauty foundation collection, is because it has 40 shades. It can go with a lot of skin types. It's a nice soft finish. If you don't like wearing a lot of makeup, I think this is a good look, because I don't look, like I said, I keep telling you guys, I don't look crazy. I don't look cakey. I don't look made up. I just look naturally beautiful with makeup. So the foundation also gets a 10 out of 10. Yeah. I don't have anything bad to say about this foundation at all. Yeah, so the next thing I got was the Fenty Beauty sponge, and it's the Precision Makeup Sponge, and it's $16 at the Sephora, JCPenney, or online on the Fenty Beauty website. And I will say that this is probably one of the things that isn't as necessary as everything else in the collection. It's $16, so it's pretty on the low end side when you compare it to a beauty blender. And I use my Beauty Blender daily. It's my holy grail go-to product. I don't even use foundation brushes as much. So obviously I'm going to compare it to this. I will say I love the shape of it. This cut side right here is really good for blending out your concealer and applying powder. It gets right into those crevices, and it just blends it out really well. But the downside of this sponge is that it's kind of hard, and it's hard in the middle compared to my Beauty Blender. And I think that it's kind of hard to work with, especially if you're going to use it dry. If you do get the sponge, I would suggest using it wet. It blends out my makeup flawlessly. But the fact that it's a little hard when it's dry is a little bit of a turn off for people who don't necessarily use damp sponges. If you're looking to save a little bit of money, definitely try the sponge out. And everything at Sephora is returnable. So that's the great thing about this collection being at Sephora and Sephora online. You can return all of this. It's risk-free. If you think it's a little too expensive, or if you just are kind of antsy, you can still go get it, or you can get a sample of most of the products and test them out in store. And if you love it, buy it, and if you don't like it, return it. So the sponge I'm going to keep just because it's not a bad sponge. But the only thing I will say is the color kind of throws me off. It kind of matches the Fenty Beauty collection. However, it gets super dirty. Being a brown skin girl, I'm using a dark foundation, and this looks gross. And I've been using it for the weekend, and it's already starting to stain. So, like, definitely, if you buy this, clean it every day. I use Dawn dish soap, like an antibacterial soap. You don't need anything expensive. But if you don't clean it every day, the foundation is going to set and it's going to stain, and you're going to have marks that are going to be really hard to get out. The next thing I got was the Kilowatt highlighter in the color Moscow Mule and Ginger Binge. I got the duo. I think there's about 4 other highlighting colors. But these are rose gold colors, and I have them on as you saw me apply. I love these highlighters so much. These duo colors are great for brown skin girls. It gives you like a nice like rose gold highlight. It's pretty subtle. It's not as pigmented as the Kilowatt Trophy Wife highlighter, but it's a really good buy. The great thing about the highlighter collection is that there are so many different shades. There's something for every skin tone. So just because the Trophy Wife might not work for you, and I know we all love it so much, there's so many other options. She also has the matchstick highlighters in an array of colors. I'm not super certain of the exact number, but so if you're not into powder highlights, definitely go try out a matchstick. I didn't get those, but I swatched them, and I have swatches on my site GoodGirlGoneFab.com. So check those out. They're a lot more subtle, but they can be buildable. So just like the powders, everything in the collection is pretty much buildable, besides the lip gloss, obviously. That's the next thing that I purchased. It is the Fenty Beauty, what is it called? Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the color Fenty Glow. It's the only lip gloss in the collection right now. And it comes in this small bottle, which is probably my least favorite thing, is the size. I wish it was bigger, but it's probably about the same size as my other lip glosses. That's just me being picky. I just wish it was bigger because I do love it. It's a clear gloss. I did use lip liner, so my lips are a little bit more defined, but it gives you a really nice sheen, and it's not sticky. My lips feel just juicy, and they feel pretty. And that's the thing I think I like this so much, because I just feel like it brings everything together, especially with the color highlighter I got. They really complement each other, and it's just like a Fenty Face signature. So I think the lip gloss is really pretty. I think it'll look great on everyone. You can use this as a lip topper on top of like some lipsticks if you want, or you can just put it in the middle of your lip if you want to get a little bit of shine. I love the lip gloss. If you are on the fence about it, I would go in the store and just try it on, because it's at Sephora. You can test everything. But I think it looks really good. So definitely 10 out of 10 at this. I'll give this a 9 out of 10, just because I wish it came in more colors. The highlighter, I'm gonna give highlighter like a 9 out of 10. It could be a little bit more pigmented, and I wish that all of them were as pigmented as Trophy Wife, but I think that with it not being as pigmented, it also gives people who are beginners or people who just like gluttle subtle glows, a lot to work with, and they're buildable. So overall, I love the Fenty Beauty collection so much. I'm going to be at Sephora purchasing more items and giving you guys reviews as time goes on. I know there are going to be a lot more product launches, and I'm just so excited, and I hope that you guys are enjoying your Fenty Beauty products as much as I am. Like I said, it's kind of expensive to get everything, so just check out the things that you are most likely to wear and purchase them. And if I had to say, if it was one thing I had to recommend out of the entire collection to purchase, it would be the primer and foundation. If you're on the fence on the primer, just test it out in the store, but definitely get the foundation. Definitely get the lip gloss, and the sponge is debatable, not necessary if you already have a sponge that you love or a brush that you love. I didn't get any of the brushes, so I can't give you my opinion on those. I just used one in store, and it was really nice. But I haven't been using it daily like I've been using everything else. So that is my Fenty Beauty review. As we all know, everybody's obsessed with it. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.